Hi everyone, so today we're working on a 2018 Honda Civic with a 2.0 to 4-cylinder. As you can tell right here that it's leaking from the top of the valve cover. Um, Today we're replacing the valve cover gasket. Um, so typically what I like to do is whenever I remove any bolts or nuts, I always like screwing them back on so I won't lose them and I won't just throw them around and they end up somewhere where I can't find them. So as of right here, I am removing a coolant hose. It's going to squirt everywhere, blue coolant. I did not know it was a coolant hose until I disconnected it, which does not matter because later on I'm going to do a coolant flush, which I will do in the video, but I will speak of it. I do like putting penetrating oil around the clips because they are mostly dry rotted and I don't want them breaking meanwhile I am doing any sort of service. Also, as you can see right here, I am removing the harness that goes all the way from the AC compressor to the alternator all the way to the back of this valve cover. I'm doing that so I won't have to push the harness out the way so I can remove the valve cover. I want this to be as easy as possible, and I won't have to um, break any sort of connections or stretch any wires. So right here I'm struggling to remove a clip. Um, the alternator is a 12 millimeter nut. And what I also forgot to mention is that they are 10 millimeter bolts around the valve cover, and also on top of these coil packs there are also 10 millimeter bolts. So just keep in mind that it's just 10 millimeters all around and just a 12 millimeter 12 millimeter nut on the alternator. But if you are going to remove the nut for the alternator, I do suggest disconnecting the negative on the battery, which I did on this engine. Now that we have the valve cover off, we clean the mating surface right here. So around the valve cover, they have this RTV around mostly on the corners or where there's a crack right there. Crack right there. And right there and right there. Actually they're not cracks, they're just mating surface between two contacts of metal, and usually you put RTV. Well, you should put RTV like this right here, and as of what I'm doing right now, I'm just scraping all of that off, making it nice and clean. And I'll just continue. So as you can tell, around here, it's pretty clean. So that's where the timing chain and the block of the head meet. Right there and right there. So I'm just cleaning it. Blade, butter brush, scraper, and some brake part cleaner. Yeah. Alright, after the other phone died, and a quick bite, also a quick trip to get some brake cleaner. Because right now, that's the old valve cover gasket. There's a seal right there. And this is a new one. Alright, I got this in the morning. But the run was for brake cleaner. And that's how it looks like so far. And just be back and just clean this quick. So as of right here, you can see, I also apologize if like it's really cold outside, and I am wearing a jacket. Right here, I cleaned out everything. Don't want to lose that. Looks pretty clean. Parts cleaner and engine degreaser and brake cleaner. Just want to make sure that everything is nice and dry. So right here, I'm gonna put this seal right there. Here is the valve cover gasket. Ta-da! So make sure that it's installed correctly. Right now, I was cleaning the rest of the mating surface of the block. Using an air compressor and some brake cleaner because of all that gunk that I cleaned and that old RTV that I scraped off fell inside, and of course I want to clean that. I don't want none of that stuff falling inside the engine. It's cold outside. It's currently 30 degrees and I am freezing my butt. So all of it is pushed in. Want no gaps? We need doing this all over again. Gonna clean these seals for the spark plug holes. And what I like doing is spraying them with some coat. So it goes in easily. So I will lick the surface. Alright. See, it's all wet. Okay, so now over that old we're gonna add some new ones. New one, right here. Get some brake cleaner. Make sure that it is fully dry. Yep. Then add some right there and right there, and Oh, you see right there? Oil. So I did notice there was a couple more spots I have cool oil. And of course I had cleaned them. I do like to put RTV on each corner and on the main surface. Um, I was struggling right here with the holes for the spark plugs. I forgot what they were called. My apologies, but I sprayed silicone once again just to try to make it as easy as possible to slide the valve cover in its place. This kit did not come with any O-rings for the spark plugs, so I tried my best with what I had. And didn't leak at all, and that's about it. So I'm just putting those 10mm nut bolts, no bolts back, and I'm just gonna snug them down with my impact gun, and later on, I'll just tighten them with a normal ratchet. Let me show you right here. So there's these 10mm bolts right here that you tighten. Then this one right here, that's a PCV valve. These in the back, they're all 10mm. Look at that. Is it? That is refill the oil, the dipstick, and where you put the coils. Alright. And I prefer removing the harness because it's easy. And I removed this coolant hose. Doesn't matter that it sprayed everywhere. I'm still gonna do a coolant flush. Well, I'm gonna just drain the coolant from the radiator, just top it off with new fluid. That's pretty much it. So let's get to it. I'm going to tighten each bolt by hand. I do not have my torque wrench to tighten it to spec, which as of right now I do not know what it should be. I'm going to tighten all of these each corner. So right here I'm tightening down with the ratchet. I usually like doing the corners first on whatever it would be. It would be an oil pan, valve cover gasket, or any sort of big object that has a particular big amount of bolts. So I like doing the ends and doing a crisscross and going all around in a circle to make sure that each one of them is tight. As I said, I did not have my torque wrench here, so I just snugged them as best as I personally thought that was tight enough. There we go. Now I'm gonna go around each one, snug it up a bit more. See that? back side. Time. And this one corner right here. Alright. Put the cap on. Clean the cap. Somewhat clean. Just putting this on because I don't want anything falling inside. That's why I put the spark plugs. I mean, the coils back in there. So as you can tell, I'm putting everything back together. Just as the beginning of the video, just putting everything back to where it is. I usually don't recommend tying anything plastic with an impact gun. I'm just being stubborn, and I was just tying all the coil packs with impact gun. I did add a little bit of silicone on the dipstick. It felt a little tight, so I just wanted to be as smooth as possible. If I have to take the oil in the future or anyone else, it won't be that hard to pull out. It's just what I typically like doing, or also whenever I'm doing an oil change or just checking the oil by itself, I grab a piece of the oil, not a piece, but some amount of the oil, and I lube it around the O-rings of the dipstick, so it's easier to pull out. And just check right here. You can see that I am pulling everything back as it was. I did forget to put a vacuum hose right there on where my left hand is on the back left side, but I took care of that. I did remember to put it back on, and I'm connecting everything back to where it's supposed to be. I did have trouble connecting that clip on the bottom side by the compressor and the alternator, and I was struggling there for a minute. And also I was putting the bracket for the alternator backwards, which I figured out at the end. So that was a plug. 12, 10. That's the little clip I was talking about. And then all the way down there is a connection for the AC compressor. So that's it for the valve cover. Next thing I'm going to do is the oil change and drain this as well. And since I took that off, I have to purge it with all the air out and clean the rest of this and let that dry. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Alright, so this is the finale. I already did the coolant flush, drained out the radiator, and added new fluid, cleaned out everything. I did the oil change. I added this fuel system cleaner that you connect to a vacuum hose. It sucks it up and it burns it off. Also I added It's other sort of fuel system cleaner that you add in the gas tank. And from there, what else did I do? I had to drive the car around because it's connected to the battery. And I forgot that to connect this wire right here, the connector. The chicken light was on. I was trying to figure that out. And it was that right there. I'm pretty sure I didn't say that in the video, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So enjoy.